Hello, everyone, and welcome into the fourth edition of BTB Now. We have, of course, Jason Cantor here. Nick Bogot is missing in action.
Hello.
I am Ray Dunn, your host. We have filling in for Nick Bogot tonight. Now, some of you may know, unfortunately for you, that we used to do a show together, the three of us, the Ray and Jay Show. How does it feel to have a reunion, boys?
This is sweet. This is unplanned. I like it. You don't tell me anything anymore because I found out this was our guest at about 8:30, 8:26 maybe.
I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to do it. Just keep you on your toes.
No, because I already knew we were on the air. The best content would be if you literally didn't add me until you were already on air, which you probably can do.
This is going down the Ray and Jay Show route pretty quickly. A debate about nothing.
Ask you what you thought of this, but you're keeping so quiet. I don't know what happened to you.
I don't
Do
need
not
to
talk anymore.
I mean,
the bright lights changed him.
Sure. I mean, this is great. I don't know what you want me to say.
Well, no. Well, let's introduce him with the whole, I guess, what's been going on with you, which is the Woj account. How many followers are you up to? And I do want to.
Well, then we should probably plug the article.
Plug the article.
Today,
well, that's why I kind of gave it over to him.
The intern dropped an article about how he took the username at Woj Vertical NBA after Woj made the switch to ESPN.
I'm holding it for ransom. Woj can pay.
Okay. Now you can go ahead and tell us what's going on with it.
Let me check. I currently sit at 1,944 followers. Some guy named Pedro Villa just followed the account. Shout out Pedro.
Pedro or Pedra?
Let's see. What did I text you today, Cantor? Who followed the account?
Some guy who looked like famous.
Donovan Mitchell, Utah Jazz shooting guard. He is recently followed, and right after I followed him, because Woj followed him, so I follow everyone Woj follows. So I followed him, and then he followed back. So
verified, like the verified actual.
Yes, check mark. Check mark, yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Currently we're trying to figure out what to do with it. I've kind of gotten to the point where it's like I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with it consistently. I retweeted some of his old vertical tweets this morning, but they're not that old, so like.
What do you think the odds are that he blocks you? Or because if he sees it, if he notices, do you think he would block you?
I would hope not, but I'd think so because obviously, because there's so many other journalists that have blocked me that obviously the fake Wojers aren't friends in the journalism community. So
the capital J.
He honestly though, you don't really know anything about Woj besides the fact that he's an NBA insider, so you don't know anything other than that. So if he's trying to make himself seem like a more likable guy, then maybe he'll
embrace it.
Yeah, but especially because I'm not a regular fake Woj. I have the username that he used for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. He's very political. Very political.
We spent enough time on that. We're done with that. Congrats, intern, getting that. Go read his article. There's some real sports news to get to here today. MLB trade deadline. Jason's been waiting for this day for about a month now.
Yeah.
Jason, do you want to kick this one off?
Well, first of all, I had normally when there's a big event that happens, I'll take a really satisfying nap afterward. And I had top 5 worst nap of my life today. Woke up a couple separate times in the middle of it and actually texted the intern that I was awake for good. And then I went back to bed. And then I woke up and I realized it was like 7:50. I'm like, all right, I have to do this, so it's for good. And I still have a headache. Forgot to take an ibuprofen, so that was smart of me. But pretty much a couple of head scratching trades. The Orioles, I think, are the most incompetent team in baseball between the Hellickson trade and now the they traded for Tim Beckham because Tim Beckham, who you may know is the guy who was drafted #1 ahead of Buster Posey at #2. They traded for him because for some reason they think they're still a playoff team, even though they're clearly not. They're going into a playoff chase right now with the rotation made up of Ubaldo Jimenez, Wade Miley, Jeremy Hellickson, and a couple other scrubs that I can't think of right now. But they're a
Wow, way to throw around the scrub word right there. Come on.
The Orioles have one of the worst rotations in modern history.
Did you say Bundy?
Oh yeah,
Listen.
Bundy's our only good pitcher, and then Chris Tillman sucks now.
Hold up.
What?
Don't blame the pitchers for the horrible management they have, all right? Fifth starter somewhere.
Don't blame who?
The pitchers.
Don't blame pitchers for the horrible management they have.
No. See, none of these guys would make it. Jeremy Hellickson and Dylan Bundy would make good starters on another team. The rest of their rotation is garbage.
Okay, long relievers.
Well, the rest of their rotation is long relievers. Guys who maybe shouldn't even be long relievers. Wade Miley and Ubaldo. The only reason why Ubaldo Jimenez still has a job is because he has a bad contract. Regardless, they have to be the most incompetent team. The Indians made a very low key but smart trade, going for Joe Smith, kind of adding another piece to that bullpen to counteract the big moves made by the Yankees. The Astros just got Gio Gonzalez. I'll break it. Gio Gonzalez is no hitter through 6 innings right now. We need Bogatis. The Astros have to be the losers of the deadline. They didn't make a trade. Oh, they traded for Francisco Liriano, which not as much of a head scratcher as it looks like on the surface because they're going to use him as a reliever. But
why not make a move? I guess we have prospects.
Yeah, they're who knows? In a way, they traded Nori Aoki to get Liriano, which shows that they're going to keep Derek Fisher in the majors. So in a way, that's using a prospect. Just they're going to keep him in the majors. I don't know. They have a lot of good. They seem to have like 2 or 3 really good pitching prospects where you could flip them to actually get a good starter or flip a couple of them. They didn't do that. I don't know. I think the price that the Yankees paid to get Sonny Gray, which is Jorge Mateo, who has probably the fastest guy in baseball, and then 2 well-regarded prospects who are both severely injured right now. I think the Astros could have beaten that. Guess they couldn't. I don't know. But they took a big hit for this year. Plus, Lance McCullers has been trashed for about his last 5 starts, and he just won on the DL today. Dallas Keuchel's been an injury question mark all year. So, biggest stock hit I think goes to the Astros, and obviously the Darvish trade. What?
Before we get you to recap everything, are the Orioles or the Astros your losers of the day?
Astros, because they had more to lose. See, because Zach Britton, I think the Orioles were in a tricky situation with Zach Britton because of his injury, where Zach Britton at full health is worth a certain price, and the Orioles rightfully so wanted to ask for that. But there's the teams such as the Astros and the Dodgers that were looking for him weren't willing to give up that price because he's been at full health for about 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. He hasn't been amazing, and they didn't want to shell out that price. And there were teams that, like what we saw from the Cubs, they would rather give up what the Cubs gave up to get Justin Wilson, which was probably a tick below the Orioles' asking price for Britton, and they thought Wilson was safer and just as good, or almost just as good. So,
all right. And then Darvish went on the move. This was weird. Like, I'm just sitting there 4 o'clock, and I'm enjoying the fact that right about a Tony Watson deal, and that not that much has happened. And then all of a sudden, trades start dropping on me afterwards. Why
I love
did
it.
they do that to me?
I love it.
No. The clock ran out. We were watching the MLB Network show. I watched the seconds tick down to 0, and then trades started flying at me.
It's the best. I remember. I think last year the same thing. When the Milwaukee Brewers traded Jonathan Lucroy to the Rangers, I think that dropped after 4 o'clock.
I don't think anything's like this though. I think it was 4. If I remember correctly, it was like 4:12, and Rosenthal tweeted source Darvish all caps traded.
Yeah,
And
which
that's
that
when-
was. I mean, there's in the modern age of Twitter, there's a lot of moments like that happen on Twitter that you're like, oh my god, did that just happen? And because it was funny, because I think probably at like 3:45 maybe, Justin Verlander tweeted a selfie of him in the Tigers locker room after reports had leaked out that he wasn't going to get traded. And
well,
side note,
Darvish
Side
tweeted
note,
something.
in the picture that Verlander tweeted was the Wi-Fi password for the Yankees locker room. What were you saying?
Darvish tweeted something too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So
Yeah.
then at 4:50, Darvish tweeted a selfie of him in the Rangers locker room, and he captioned it 10 minutes, and that kind of looked like that was all we needed. And then
To get off Darvish for a second. I told Ray during the Phillies game when I saw Mark Leiter warming up in the 8th and 9th.
that Benoit was gone.
I said that there has to be something because there's no way that Leiter's going to warm up to pitch a late inning when you have Benoit if he's not involved in a trade. And then when it passed 4 and I didn't see anything like resembling any trade talks, and then you started seeing the McKinnon said you'll see why in a couple of moments, stuff like that. You sort of saw it come to fruition.
Yeah, but so were there any? I think it was just Benoit and Darvish that broke after 4.
And Benoit is obviously a much more minor deal than.
Yeah,
It's funny because Rosenthal tweeted.
Can I get an explanation here?
It's up to you.
Yeah, you want to go? You go, because I think I have an idea. I mean, it's not Orioles like.
I sort of like what they sold off Tony Watson and then they got Benoit to sort of try to fill the role, even though one's a righty, one's a lefty. But like, it's selling without it's still giving them a chance to make a run in the postseason or anything resembling a shot of them. They didn't want to tear it all the way down, so they kept pieces intact.
And it's not like any of their pieces are due to be free agents. They look at their core, especially with Marte. Marte just coming off a suspension. They look at their core right now and they say we're not a playoff team this year, but they think, and I think we've touched this over the last few episodes, that they think that they can be a playoff team next year. And it's tough. It's going to be tough because the Brewers have shown that they're going to be ready faster than we thought they would. The Cubs are here to stay, especially the Justin Wilson trade's big because Wade Davis is due to be free agent after this year. So if they can't keep him, Wilson can slide into the closer's role, which he's proved this year with Detroit that he's more than capable of. So the Cubs are here to stay. The Cardinals always seem to be there. So it's going to be tough for the Pirates, but if Andrew McCutchen is the player that he's been over the last 2 months, then they can do it. And I think McCutchen's resurgence is partly why they stayed put, and the fact that Garrett Cole over his last 5 or 6 starts has been himself again.
I don't know. I guess I'm just a fan of a rebuild.
Oh well, I mean, we've seen it with the Sixers. I think in baseball though, it's
they don't need a rebuild though. Like they're not in a position where I think they need to tear it down.
They're in a position to succeed at their current point.
I also think as we're seeing prospects become valued higher and higher, and I don't think the Pirates were getting offers that were, because they were certainly, especially 2 months ago, they were certainly listening on Garrett Cole.
Well, they were listening on McCutchen 2 months ago as well.
Oh, and McCutchen, yeah, I don't think they saw any offers that they found to be worth it. And I'm
going to plug my article here. and go with. I said in the article that they sold Tony Watson probably at his lowest value ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not wrong. I mean,
you were the one that's. I remember you tweeted out. I saw it. That you aren't a fan of guys who are actually MLB players for prospects that might never pan out. Something along those lines, right?
what?
He said productive big league. You can't trade
Oh,
productive.
don't
big league.
trade productive big leaguers for the sake of trading productive big leaguers. That was about people wanting to trade Tommy Joseph.
I understand that. No, I know where that came from. I'm just saying I feel like that applies here because in return the Pirates got 21-year-old who hasn't shown any real growth towards the major leagues, and they got an 18-year-old who's an interesting prospect, but I mean,
what's Watson's contract situation?
Watson.
I see what you're saying, Ray, but I think it's two different situations.
Yeah, I think it's because Watson has been good in a year, and maybe they just from what they see it. No one knows more about a player than player's team.
Watson's a free agent after this year, so
That's why because they to go back to they didn't do a fire sale because they have control of all of their pieces beyond this year and they think they can contend. And Watson is a guy who hasn't shown the potential to be any more than a mediocre 7th or 8th inning guy. And they thought, why not? You're not going to. Is he having a solid year?
No, he had some solid years in there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying now he's not.
Yeah. I think
he's not. But
he had 2 years with like sub-2 ERAs.
Yeah, but they were contending then. Let's not forget, 2 years ago they were in a wild card game. They lost to the Cubs, and then the franchises kind of just went in completely different directions. But he was with them, and he was there was no reason for them to flip him because he was contributing to a playoff team. Now they're not a playoff team. They want to be next year, but they don't know if he'll be here for that, and they figure they might as well flip him. And maybe they can pursue him in free agency. Who knows? What's going to be interesting is the path more than what they did at this deadline, because I think staying put, as much as I know Nick doesn't like that, I think it's the right thing for them to do just because they weren't going to get anything that was worth flipping. The winter meetings are going to be interesting because they have to, if they want to be serious contenders in 2018 and 2019, then they have to pursue players. And are they going to be willing? Are they going to be willing to do that, or whether it be trade or free agency? What?
Here's my question then, Jason. If you're already looking towards next year, right?
Yeah, which they are.
Okay, which they are, but that doesn't make sense then of why you would give up a prospect for Joaquin Benoit, who's a free agent after this year, who's 40 years old, who's been not very productive in the innings he's had with the Phillies. So I don't know you saying that.
I don't understand that either, frankly.
That's why I'm saying they still think they have a chance.
That trade makes no sense.
They think 5.5 out that they can go make a run this year.
That's why I don't understand the plan here.
Wait, maybe I don't necessarily have problems with teams giving up mid to low level prospects, like on the rare occasion, not to the extent that the Orioles have, because the Orioles did it twice. And the Orioles are also in a much worse situation than the Pirates are, because the Orioles have like 4 teams ahead of them. The Pirates really just only have the Cubs. I think it's fairly unrealistic for them to make the playoffs this year, and I wouldn't grade the Benoit trade as a good one for them. And I love that he's not with the Phillies anymore. But yeah, that doesn't make sense for them. But I guess besides that, I don't have a problem with what they're doing. It's not a big enough trade to really like deem them losers.
I mean, if we want to dive in, since we're talking about Benoit, dive into the Phillies' 3 other trades.
I don't know. I mean, the Hellickson trade, it was just weird.
Yeah,
right.
That was strange.
Right, I think he was getting traded.
Well, Hyun Soo Kim showed that he has the plate discipline to keep this team going today. 3 walks, 1 strikeout.
He works at bats.
No big deal. 2-3
Works at
accounts.
bats.
Gio Gonzalez is through 7.
All I wanted was Williams, Altair, and Herrera every day. At bat stealer, that's what he is.
I don't think you want. No, he's not. Like, he's literally the definition of a fourth outfielder. Like, that is
Already too much.
Yeah, because Nick Williams is like 0 for his last 15.
It wasn't a good look for him.
Let the kid play. Let the kid play.
Jason, you had work. You didn't watch the game, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look going on. There was a fly ball to left field, and he was like spinning in circles trying to find it, and he catches it like right near the wall, and he throws it to third, and it like 7 hops and goes like past Franco to the catcher, and the guy tags up and stuck into third.
Oh God.
Yeah, he got subbed out for Cam Perkins like a minute after that. No, I can end
There's your fourth outfielder.
Okay, but there's the point. If anything, he's worse. Like I don't know why are you like actually mad about the possibility of him taking at bats from Williams, Herrera, and Altair? Because you know what, Cam Perkins was doing that too.
What's the necessity of bringing him in?
Because you had to do that to facilitate a trade.
The Orioles probably wanted to flip him for salary, and I don't care. Kim's not going to hurt the Phillies.
Good old-fashioned Sam Hinkie, see you later.
No.
For what?
Yeah.
For who?
He's on your deal. This is his end year anyway. He's like,
who are you going to call up to be a fourth outfielder?
Sorry, you both went out audio-wise.
No, who are you going to call up to be a fourth outfielder?
Anyone. Give me anyone's shot.
Yeah, but you don't call up prospects to be fourth outfielders. Dylan Cousins. I mean, I'm not a fan of Dylan Cousins anyway, but you're not going to call him up to give him like 1 to 2 starts every week.
That's fair.
I just
don't like the idea of Hung Soo Kim getting in the way of at bats.
He's not.
But right, it's not like those three could play. They're like playing every day. They're not going to play every day. That's just
like legitimate. He's getting in the way of their at bats as much. If they didn't have him and it was just Cam Perkins and Ty Kelly, the Herrera, Altair, and Williams would be playing the same amount of games.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they're now with the roster structure that they have, the only games that either of those three will miss is an off day, or if they've had a few bad games like Williams has and they want to give him a breather. That's the only reason.
No,
at this point,
Williams would have sat today regardless. Perkins would have played.
There's other I mean I think we've covered the Hellickson trade and that this is irrelevant because Cam is probably going to be around for the rest of this year and that's it. And then you're talking about another low-level prospect.
Well, here's my final thing on that. It irks me, Hellickson, to get this guy that we don't need.
It's a low-level prospect.
I know what you're going to come back with. The Orioles cap space or wanted the salary dump. They wanted to get rid of him. They want to flip him. So that's the way they're doing it.
The trade is for Hyun-Soo Kim.
What?
The trade isn't for Kim. He just happens to be a part of it.
No kidding, it's not. He's a part of it. Else a part of it that's actually worth something in there. And I get that we got a prospect on the side, but I'd rather have gotten something that's not going to be gone in a couple months. And in my mind, obviously you two don't see it this way, taking at bats from younger guys.
He's not.
Hold on.
He's not taking at bats from younger guys, and he's not.
We already had this debate, Jason. I understand you don't believe that.
Hold on. So, right, is your claim that you wish they would have got another productive player instead of Kim in the deal?
Because that wasn't the case. That would have never happened.
No. Mid to low level prospect.
Oh, okay. Well, but like that's not. But if that wasn't the deal, then are you saying you wouldn't do this deal? Like if that's.
Well, I mean, I wasn't sitting there making phone calls. I don't know what the best deal was.
No. If they
Hellickson had no value. The Phillies
if they
really
presented
messed up
to
by
you
trading him
this
last
deal,
year.
If they presented to you the deal that was accepted by the Phillies, are you taking that deal?
If it's the best deal there.
Okay, so you're okay. Okay, well, I see what you mean, but
I wouldn't have accepted it when he did.
this is the Helkson thing has been a terrible, terrible couple because last year he had the highest trade value you possibly had, and they just waited it out way too long. And then this winter, when they gave him the qualifying offer, thinking he would get something long term from someone, no, and they had to pay him $17.5 million to come back. I mean, it's the trilogy of Helkson himself has been. I mean, he was productive last year. It's been a disaster this year with the inconsistencies that have plagued him the entire season.
Yeah, I get all that. I understand that right now isn't higher, but why pull the trigger on that deal a few days before the deadline and maybe you get the Orioles days later?
Okay, well, I say we move on because we spent a lot of time on a particularly.
Is there any more trades you guys want to talk about? I feel like that does a lot of the MLB for you.
Do we?
Let's
touch on Darvish just pretty quickly. Who Nationals or Nationals, Cubs, or Dodgers? Who's getting out of the NL?
Chase Utley.
But do you think? Because this was I tweeted this too, and I don't. This is my big question: Did the Dodgers trade that package, knowing that they could have gotten Zach Britton for the same thing? Because obviously Darvish is gonna probably contribute more to your team as an ace, but that's up for debate. You're also getting a year more out of Britton than Darvish. So would the Dodgers have done that same exact trade, giving up? It was Willie Calhoun's an actual good hitter, and then two other guys that I don't know much about.
Chase Utley.
Do you think that what was I going to say? Oh yeah, you think that Darvish leaving LA after this year is a foregone conclusion? Because I don't think.
No, I don't.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they do the deal if they don't think they have any chance of re-signing him after the year. And the productivity, like you said, the productivity of a Hugh Darvish is going to be greater than that of Zach Britton to a team, arguably. But if they think they can re-sign him, I'd rather have Darvish than take Britton.
So what I'm saying, and this may never come out, and it probably won't. But do you think that the Dodgers had a similar offer from the Orioles for Britton, and they chose Darvish instead, or that the Orioles wanted a higher level prospect like someone like Alex Verdugo?
And it's all hypotheticals, but I'm guessing. I mean, there's something close to that.
It may not be these are definitely talks that happen. The Dodgers were in on Britton.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is who knows what they.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
agree. I don't agree. I mean, Ray just keeps saying Chase Utley, but I don't think the Nationals will. I don't think the Nationals are a team to get out of the NL, and I think the Dodgers. If Kershaw is healthy, I take the Dodgers.
No, it might be better for them that Kershaw is not healthy.
Last year, playoff Kershaw was good
until the elimination game.
Yeah, but
he
was also pitching on a million pitches in the last
no days rest.
Well, we got Madison Bumgarner.
They're the worst team.
Madison Bumgarner to give up a 3-run home run to Jake Arrieta. People forget that.
Yeah, but he got the ring, so winning saves everything.
Yeah. Well, he didn't get a ring last year.
To your point, it's 2017 now. It's not an even numbered year. Therefore, they have to be a bad team so they can bounce back next year and win the World Series.
Couple rebuttals. One, it's 2016. Two,
wow. We're trying to be creative and original here. We can't be stealing jokes.
By the way, remember when I said that in January and you guys didn't get it? Whatever. Moving on. Then you kind of dissed the Nationals. I don't think the Nationals, you can just wipe them aside to the Cubs and Dodgers. I had said from the start after they traded for Doolittle and Matson that I'm sorry showing a hint of positivity towards the Nationals here, because I would love to see them lose as much as everyone else here. But the trade for
I'm
Brandon
not throwing
Kinsler is
them
a good one.
aside. They're just not as good of a team as the Dodgers
I disagree
and
with
the
you.
Cubs.
Scherzer, Gio, and Strasburg.
Gio, stop it. He's throwing a no-hitter, okay, but like the inconsistencies
Look
that's
at his
plagued
ERA.
him. He's walked 3 guys tonight in the no-hitter.
Oh no, he's been
His can
last year. He was not good last year. He's at a bounce back year.
his control.
Okay. So time out. We're talking about number 3 starters right now because that's what he is for them.
Compare the number 3 starter of the Dodgers to the number 3 starter of the
Rich
Kershaw,
Hill's been
Darvish, and
inconsistent.
Alex Wood. I would take them 3 over the 3 you just listed.
Okay, so Alex Wood, I know he had that one bad start against the Braves. I don't know how he's been his last start or two. Why are you giving me a thumbs up?
I don't know. He's
Because someone owned him in fantasy back when he paid attention.
Alex Wood.
I think I don't know what he's
Okay,
doing.
anyway.
He's
So
like
Alex Wood, you think Alex Wood, who's this is really his first good year as a starter. Do you think you can count on that?
yes.
Because he's on my fantasy team.
Okay.
He's 12-1 with a 2.38 ERA. I don't
I know.
understand how. And
Oh yeah, I
Strasburg
just think I don't think Gio Gonzalez is that far from that. I think you're Alex Wood's been great this year, but I'm talking about come playoff time. Who can you trust? I'd take him over Gio, but not as much as you're saying.
Arrieta, Lester. Then let's go to the Cubs. Arrieta, Lester, and Quintana. Arrieta
Oh,
hasn't
you
been
act like Arrieta's had a good year.
I was about to say that. You have to, gotta wait a second. Now, the
Arrieta's there for in my opinion. I think you take Hendricks over Arrieta.
fine. Then those 4 are better than the Nationals 4.
Who's the Nationals' 4th?
It's Scherzer.
Okay, but by
Strasburg.
the way, Scherzer's the second best pitcher in the NL besides Kershaw. Strasburg, I take him over any of those other pitchers besides Kershaw and Scherzer.
Is Edwin Jackson?
I
No.
don't think he's long term. I think he's in the rotation because Strasburg's hurt right now.
Okay.
But no, okay.
Last night he went 7 innings, 1
maybe
run. That's what I just looked
top to bottom. Once you get past Gio, the Nationals get a little weaker. I also think at the top with Scherzer and Strasburg, Strasburg is a better 1-2 than what anyone else has. Or well, no, Dodgers.
No, the Dodgers, Kershaw, Darvish. I'm taking that.
Kershaw, Darvish, which is why they just strengthened.
Kershaw has an injury history, but I think the Strasburg injury history is even more alarming than that of.
That's true, and that again, but the reason why I said that, I don't think we can just push the Nationals aside because Scherzer Strasburg is something to be.
No, I don't. I'm not trying to push them aside. My point is just the fact that I think that the Dodgers are. I mean, and we're just talking.
I mean, I agree.
Pitching's a big part, but I still think the Nationals bullpen's better. Obviously, Madsen, Doolittle, but I still think that the other teams have it. I think who's the Cubs closer?
Davis.
Yes, yeah. So I mean,
and another thing, we've ignored offense this entire show. The whole Harper Murphy Zimmerman thing kind of helps.
Yeah, but
that's the thing.
That helps. Go through the other team. Like the other teams all have good heart of the lineup punches too, though. So
again, the Dodgers.
Bellinger, Turner, Corey Seager.
Yeah, I mean, the Dodgers seem to have everyone one up on literally everything. You're showing us a Chase Utley card right now. But the Cubs, Rizzo hasn't been amazing. Right. He's been good. He hasn't been as good as he was last year. Same thing with Chris Bryant.
No, I agree. I'm just my whole thing is the fact that I don't know.
I think the Dodgers are the best team in the NL. I picked them to get out of it before the season. I stand by that. I just think the Nationals aren't being looked at enough.
Going through it again in my head as we talk through this, I may take the Nationals over the Cubs. Just baseball. Also,
which
the best team in baseball doesn't always win.
That's fair.
That's also
In a
basketball.
J.A. Happ, is that who I see?
Yeah, it's GC.
He got in a fight the other day.
So, anyways, yeah, he did. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Anywho, yes, the Yankees are getting number 28, and we can all just stop arguing now. That's baseball for you.
Indians.
Moving along. No.
We'll debate the AL next week because I think there's something there. There's some substance there.
Like, and
Okay, come on. Keep it moving.
all right, training camp has opened up for most, I think all at this point, NFL teams.
Yeah. I think the Colts were the last team for one of them.
And in the interest of keeping this balanced between Eastern Pennsylvania and Western Pennsylvania, I'm going to start with a couple of storylines going into Steelers camp. You guys at all familiar with the Steelers?
Yeah, are we just going to talk about Le'Veon Bell?
Go to his
I'm going
story.
to start with Martavis Bryant, then go to Le'Veon Bell. But if you want to start with Le'Veon Bell.
No, I forgot about Martavis Bryant because he's not officially.
Martavis Bryant is coming back. A year-long suspension. He went into rehab. He spoke to ESPN, I think it was a week ago, saying that the rehab was intense.
Gio is through 8.
Thanks.
That's
Steelers.
big news. Like a no-hitter doesn't happen every day.
No. When it's complete, you can tell me. Anywho. Now I'm all messed up.
Martavis
Bryant did an interview with ESPN saying that people in his drug rehab thing died. It made him question his life. Changed man. Now, Stephen A. Smith would tell him to stay off the weed. But do you think that after a year away from football, he's going to come back as the same receiver? And does he need to apologize to Ben Roethlisberger? There's been a bit of a disconnect in that relationship.
I don't think he necessarily needs to apologize, but if your quarterback has a problem with you, then you apologize to him no matter what. Wait, I'm blanking. First of all, because the last I saw, he hadn't been reinstated yet. Is he going to be reinstated? It's just a formality.
He's going to be reinstated. He will return for this season.
Wow. Why am I blanking on this? Oh yeah, I think you asked if he's going to come back the same player. I think we're going to see kind of something along the lines of what we saw with Jordy Nelson last year, which was a guy who is not the same player at the beginning of the season just because you're away from football for a year. It's hard. They're human. Can't just come back from that. Stomp of a finger. But he's amazingly talented. We've seen that, and I think give him a few games under his belt, and he'll be the same dynamic player that he was.
Intern?
I agree. To go off the apology thing, if him and Roethlisberger have a disconnect, then obviously he's the one that has to apologize. I mean, Roethlisberger didn't really do anything, and he's the veteran in the locker room. You just got taken out for a year because you decided to do some substances that were banned by the league. So, yeah. I mean.
All right. I guess we can move on to Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
You can take it.
So, is he going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler season?
Has he? Because I've seen there's too many holdouts. I've seen one of the players said that they will not take their holdout into the regular season. Was that him, or was it not? I don't think it was, but do we know? Because if it's not him, has he shown willingness to take his holdout like beyond like into preseason games.
Yesterday Mike Tomlin said he doesn't want to talk about Le'Veon Bell. He wants to talk about James Conner.
Do you think they drafted James Conner knowing this would happen? Because I saw it as like a puzzling decision to draft a running back in the 3rd round when you have the best running back on the planet on your team.
Mike Tomlin, he is with discipline, said there will be consequences for this holdout. There has been no commitment on Bell's part, as far as I've seen, that he is going to return by the regular season. But promised us are in this situation and make sure Le'Veon Bell knows what's up with some consequences.
This is a mess. And the Steelers, but I'm going to play the role of Ogaudis, whether or not I actually believe this or not. The Steelers, because I don't know this, but he said that they tried to trade Roethlisberger after his off-field incidents. But like the Steelers don't take this stuff normally, and so for a guy like Bell's in a position of leverage, in terms of being the best running back in the NFL. I'm of the opinion he's better than Adrian Peterson was in his prime, but. Is that a hot take?
That is a hot take.
Adrian Peterson couldn't catch.
I can see where you're coming from. I understand your viewpoint. I mean, you're just
now again best ability is availability, and I think as bad of a human as Adrian Peterson was, he wasn't getting suspended in his prime, which something should be said for that. But I think when on the field, Bell's better. But regardless, he's in a situation where he's been. Is it 3 years in a row he's either been hurt or suspended to start the season?
Yeah, I can't tell you the last time he completed a full season.
Because the fantasy football, it always seems to be, Le'Veon Bell's the best player there, but is he worth it between the injury risk or the suspension? Last year it was the suspension. The year before it was the injury.
Yeah, don't give the intern any advice here. He's the first overall pick on our draft, so let him figure this one out for himself.
Same with, I know you devalue our league, but
it's true. Well, I mean, I already won a title in that league, so it's.
I mean, I've won 2, but I'm trying to get a 3rd because the forefathers of our league do not want to put past champions who beat them and besmirch their names on the trophies. Just a call.
They don't want to see me winning.
But anyway, back to Bell. Back to Bell. He's in a position of leverage in terms of being the best running back in the NFL. He's not in the position of leverage in terms of that you don't give a long-term contract to a guy who either gets suspended for smoking weed when he should clearly know after 3 times not to smoke marijuana. And
off the weed.
And he has an injury history. So he's crazy. I'm gonna let you do that. Yeah. He's crazy.
It's over.
Yeah, the Steelers have shown.
The no-hitter is over.
Oh, who broke it up?
G. Gordon.
That's it.
Yeah, it's good he left.
What just happened?
He left because I said something about the no-hitter.
Okay. Well, intern, do you have any thoughts on Le'Veon Bell then?
Oh, I'm just so upset that no-hitter's over. It's like we had it. It's like it was going to happen.
Anything to add on Le'Veon Bell?
I don't know what's up with the Rays tonight. He's very,
What I think of Le'Veon Bell? That's a good one. Typically, the Steelers try and demonstrate the highest class of an organization, pedigree or whatever. Recently, I'm not feeling it from him. between the suspensions, between the way they treat their players. I'm not feeling it. I think this is going to end horribly for someone. I don't know who yet, but someone is going to get the short end of the stick here. And it could be because they give Bell a huge contract. Else, hightails it out of town.
What if they give him a big contract and then he actually like continues playing to his potential and becomes less stupid?
Well,
Is that not a possibility?
That's a what if
You're banking on
situation.
what? You're not only banking on his intelligence, you're banking on his ability to stay healthy.
I'm a believer that the MCL injuries aren't as like they're not as much of a red flag as we lead them to be, just because the one was when he took whose helmet was it? Was it Pac-Man Jones's? I don't think it was.
Might have been.
He took like 2 year or it was like a helmet or an elbow. There was like whatever the play was that ended with the he got hurt, missed their playoff game, and then at the end of the game that he got hurt, Mike Tomlin got into a fight with the Bengals at the 50-yard line after the game. And then the 2 years ago that was 3 years ago, and then 2 years ago when he got hurt, it looked like his leg was about to get snapped in half on the tackle again by the Bengals. That one, it was perfect both times. How could we forget Montez Perfect?
Right, because we're good citizens of society and don't model our behavior after Vontez Perfect.
Very true. But yeah, so I don't think the knee injuries are as big of a white flag. I think it's just him not being stupid.
I'm worried about the injuries when it comes to that, especially with the running back. Crazy. And then I think we have to move on to one more thing out of the Steelers camp. Big Ben. Well, give me some attention. My running back. I get some money. My wide receiver's coming back from suspension. Antonio Brown's one of the best at his position. I need my attention back. Said he won't commit to playing in 2018.
He says
Is
that.
there
He says that a
anything
lot.
about this comment other than an attention grab we should take it for?
I mean,
How old is he? 36?
no, he's younger. He's like 33 or 34.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Rod, he's wait. No, because Rodgers is like 32. I think I'm gonna say he's 34 or 35.
He's 35. Oh, it's pretty
35.
close to be
You
like,
were-
nah, yeah.
But I wouldn't take it. He does this every time. He's done this like 2 or 3 years in a row. Essentially, it just says they need to have a backup plan. Maybe, I mean, it's a good thing for the Steelers in a way where you can't. It's no longer the Steelers' fault if they. I feel like they now have a free pass to draft a quarterback in the first round now, because
here's what's gonna happen. You ready?
He's been telling them for 2 years he's gonna retire.
Patrick Mahomes going to take over the job in Kansas City.
Here we go.
Alex Smith is then not going to have a job. Then tries to reconcile. Goes back to San Francisco. Kirk Cousins wants to go to San Francisco. Kirk Cousins gets rerouted to Pittsburgh. Faces Ben Roethlisberger. And that's how Patrick Mahomes changed the NFL for good.
This sounds like a video that Ken Rosenthal did last night, where he traced Aaron Judge being on the Yankees back to when they got Mariano Rivera.
Yep, that's about how it goes.
Except that actually happened, and what Ray's saying is an insane hypothetical.
Yeah.
But in 1 year from now, you
Right,
guys
just
be like, wow, he had it. He had the story first. And I'll be like, yep, you're right.
Bookmark this episode.
something is going on with
trade
Ray. I don't know what it is tonight, but he's like, I don't know.
On that note, Ray,
You guys took like
Ray, stay on after this because we have to talk trade.
it took like 15 minutes about one trade, so I had to spice up the content a little bit. Oh, we have a viewer.
It's not me.
Wow. It's probably
And
me
the
too.
viewer has left upon seeing a dab from Jason.
But that reminds me, I told Cam Perkins Saturday night that I liked his dabs, and he smiled. Just a moment of pride and joy for me.
It's kind of funny though. I didn't even say anything. It's just like, all right, this
Congrats.
is some weird kid.
All right, Eagles camp. Nelson Aguilar can catch again. Our cornerbacks are horrible. Do we have anything else to comment on that?
The Jordan Matthews thing is still kind of weird. There's people, which like as much as I don't like Howard Eskin, he seems to actually have credibility when it comes to the Eagles, and he doesn't think that he thinks this is certain, like almost a certainty. It's Matthews last year. Matthews, for his part of it, he came out, said that it was only his knee. He would never hold out. And it's a weird situation. I don't know why they'd be so eager to trade Jordan Matthews because
I think the
they
Michael
added
Kendrick
Alshon Jeffrey.
situation.
Torrey Smith isn't anything to hold your hat up about. So I hope he stays.
I think the Michael Kendrick situation is even weirder though.
That's just bad blood.
That's
making that a secret.
But I don't understand why they're not like. I don't understand why he's still on the roster. It doesn't make sense.
But
to me.
they don't want to take a captain. No
They
one.
asked him, would you or do you regret signing that contract extension? His response was, I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
That is a man who does not want to be here at all.
Yes.
At all.
So what I'm saying is, him on the roster is only hurting the guy. He's gonna keep diminishing his trade value by keep coming out and saying stupid things like he wants to not be on the team and he wants to go somewhere else. It's not helping him. It's hurting him.
Well, someday he'll figure that out when he's still an Eagle in 2 years.
It's gonna be like 2032 and there will be trade rumors.
I don't think it's weird though. I just think it's a situation where he signed an extension. They became unhappy with this play. He got less playing time because they added other players, and they don't want to cut him because they don't feel the need to take on dead money, and he's not happy with the situation he's in.
You can get value out of him. Michael Kendricks isn't an awful player.
No, if they could have gotten value out of him, he would have. They said no to trading him. They've tried. There's no way they haven't.
They might have said no a few years ago.
No, the recent report sounds like he said he asked him in like January.
I mean, there was definitely people that wanted 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They probably are still living off of that value.
I wouldn't say that. I think anytime it's the Eagles are. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. They think they can still get something out of it.
So what else do we have here?
Well, we have the fact that Tony Roden subtweeted me and I got him on the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast.
That.
All right,
tell me.
Just give me like a hand wave when this is over.
Intern's jealous because essentially I wrote a good article, which he knows nothing about. And then I tweeted at Tony Roden because, I'd written about him. Shoot my shot, shooters shoot. And sure enough, starts off with how Tony Roden invented the process, he made trust the process, how that was his thing. He tweeted out. After that post was released, Tony Roden tweets out, "They know who invented the process, or trust the process." They're playing a little connect the dots, and led me to the fact that Tony Roden definitely read the article. I called him out on it. I was like, I put the screenshot of his tweet, and the first two paragraphs. Love from people on Twitter, but I had no confirmation that he really did subtweet me.
He subtweeted.
And then came the beautiful hit. He hit my tweet about the article with a like. And from that moment on, I knew. So I wrote and read the article. He was tweeting about me. The tweet he had generated a Scott O'Neill tweet, and Tony Roden sent out. He got a reply to go on Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. And I'm on as a guest on Saturday. I got him on the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. It's a story you're really never going to get.
But apparently it was a really good interview.
But apparently it was a great one. It's all credit goes to me at this point.
I replied to Scott O'Neill's tweet to try to get you credit, and didn't work.
Yeah, no one was giving you credit. They weren't feeling it, I guess. But
which is ironic because Rights to Ricky Sanchez's whole thing is say the name. I'd say the name.
Yeah, seriously. I think me, Spike Eskin, and
maybe they go in. Who knows? Maybe they go into why he tweeted
I listened
that.
to it.
Did they not?
No.
Was I mentioned?
No.
Well, we're gonna come after them. That's it.
No, we will not.
Cease and desist. Yo, let's do a cease and desist.
Yeah, Tony Roden could do a cease and desist on literally everyone. Trust the process was done.
There's a guy like, I don't know, like some Business Insider or whatever, that responded to Tony Roden's tweet, and it's like, no, you didn't. Like, apparently this guy started to trust the process. But
yeah,
no one cares what this guy who has no relation with the Sixers is doing.
He doesn't get it. He can stop.
He does.
I got some tweet by Tony Roden. Oh, and by the way, another shout out. The Chief won week 3.
Because of that?
I on the website last week. I was kind of disappointed.
Who's the Chief?
That would be me.
Oh.
And it was my week last week.
So you're addressing yourself in a sort of third person to acknowledge your accomplishments of the week without directly acknowledging that it was you that was won week 3.
It's like when you say, go check the intern's last tweet every time you tweet something out.
Oh, my God.
No,
hold on. In fairness, he tweets from 5 different accounts, so he can't just say last tweet.
Yeah.
The main account is at intern BTB.
True.
A lot of them are like pretty funny. Like today had a good day. Like the Man Crush Monday thing, that was pretty funny. Let me think. So like they're funny. So like I don't really say it to you.
Your accomplishments on Twitter.
Because I was provoked by you trying to disacknowledge my accomplishments on Twitter.
This is acknowledging your accomplishments.
I won.
I'm simply stating that you do something.
So right here. Who won week 1?
Week 1 was a win for all of us, I would say.
Who won week 2? So you're saying you win 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, essentially.
And how come you won? How come you won week 2?
I didn't see anyone else putting in the type of effort I did.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you've done solid work over the last 24 hours. I got to give you credit for that. Showing up for this show, putting up 3 articles. You're definitely trying to come for the crown, but the Chief stays winning.
Seems Jason has been turned into a cat by some sort of
Well, in that case, I think that's him telling us it's closing time. He needs to catch up on his naps. Any
No, I
final
figured
thoughts
I'd
from
get started on making my post-show snack while you guys did whatever.
I just wish we kind of went into Iverson a little more.
I mean, essentially,
All right.
I think what I said at the end of that article kind of sums it up. Which read it, by the way, but which you contributed with too. But he essentially, I see this going one of three ways. They'll do what they did with Philly, which you think is the likely scenario, correct?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was they'll create some kind of phony
And-
response defending him, just taking his side. I think it's possible that they cut ties with him completely, just because if they want to
Unless
try to.
he spins it. There's a chance he's going to spin it into something like.
I think it would be like a joint thing. Like the big three and Allen Iverson have mutually decided to part ways.
Yeah, but he's going to try and spin it about why they're parting ways without.
Yeah. I think they would try to bury that lead together and make it like we've mutually decided.
It does suck, though, because you can see he still hasn't. He's still in the ways he used to be.
I mean, he doesn't care, and it sucks because they again, I saw something. A lot of people left in Dallas once he didn't show up, but it's something where they smartly recruited him because they know he's kind of even after he played 12 years in the NBA, he's still kind of an enigma.
More than a ticket grab.
No, I disagree with when they
You think
actually
he is
signed him
more than
on,
a
though.
ticket grab?
He has nothing more
Let
than
me
a ticket
let me
grab.
speak, Ray, before you keep repeating yourself.
Jason asked me what I was saying. Excuse you,
Yeah, no,
Mr. Internet.
I asked him to repeat himself because the sound cut out. But yeah, he's nothing more than a ticket grab for them. And it was smart by them
But
because I said this too, their whole pitch was, see your former favorite players. And Iverson was that for a lot of people. And it just sucks he's not into it.
initially, I don't know if they planned him as only a ticket grab though.
Oh,
'Cause
no, they didn't.
That first game, I think they thought that he would be a more productive player than he was, and then it was evident he literally had nothing left in the tank. And I think after that, then it became like
Yeah.
what do we do now? Try to
There is only one player that you want to watch after Allen Iverson calls it quits on the big three, and that's Kwame Brown.
Yeah.
See that I mean
And maybe
Chauncey Billups is cool. Scalabrine is a funny guy. Like that's it. Like
Mike Bibby's cool. I'm watching him right now.
If White Chocolate didn't hurt himself, he would have been a big rap too. Like the league has guys besides Iverson. Iverson was just at the top of it, and it's a shame. It's a shame that this is how it came out.
Iverson was the ticket grab. Regardless of who you liked, who you were going to play, everyone knows of Iverson. And regardless of whether or not what he was going to play, how many games, he knew once they got Iverson, this could be a real deal.
It'll be interesting though. Like after this, obviously they'll go through this entire season, and it'll be interesting what this ends up becoming. Because, I mean, watching it right now in Dallas, I mean, there's a good amount of people still there. And I think if you can get the games to be live with more people watching, I don't think it's that. It's still not a bad idea.
I'm out.
Who said that?
Ray.
I'm out. Ray.
Go.
The Chief. I said.
Stop. That's so weird. Now explain yourself saying no, because
I'm out.
On the whole idea.
I mean, the idea in theory was a good one. Get old basketball players together, round them up to play. But it's just the entertainment value.
Have you watched it?
You struggle with in the WNBA right now.
Have you watched it?
A lot of people watch basketball for the pure excitement
He
of
hasn't
a
watched
potential
it.
dunk athletic play. And a lot of people don't think that the WNBA can produce those dunks. Personally, I'm a big WNBA guy. The
He
big
hasn't watched
three,
that either.
what haven't I watched?
I said you haven't watched the Big Three, and you haven't
I
watched.
have watched the big three. That is a falsehood on your part. You don't spend time with me, so you wouldn't know that.
I mean, we were at a Phillies game 2 nights ago, but okay.
No, he's watched
You
the
do
Big
not
Three. I
remember
don't think he's
watching
watched the WNBA, but he's watched the Big Three.
WNBA.
By the way,
Fundamentals, buddy.
most outrageous thing in the world is the intern when he's trying to look for picks for his ESPN streak, asking me for WNBA picks. When he has you as a brother
Big
and he
trade
has
in the
contacts to
WNBA.
Bogatis. Outrageous.
Yeah, but Bogata's just like
Big trade in the WNBA today. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to it because you guys
okay,
keep.
and that's our show. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm the intern. That's
The big
Jason.
three is going to fail because the excitement factor of a potential athletic, exciting play isn't there. The 4-point shot was supposed to be its thing. The 4-point shot isn't real. No one's pulling up from 4-point because they don't want to airball and
Phillips
end up
hit
on
2 last night.
You're fake news, Ray.
Chauncey Billups.
Okay, Chauncey Billups can. He's one of the only reasons you're watching.
Well, yeah.
So your highlight from let me get this right. The highlight from that game is Chauncey Billups hitting 2 4-pointers.
Well,
I'm gonna spend my money to go watch Chauncey
What's
Billups
the
take
highlight
one
from a
of
regular
the three.
NBA game? It's
yeah,
Steph
exactly.
Curry
Like
hitting
one
2 million
dunk.
3-pointers.
I'm confused. This doesn't make sense because
Okay. So let me take this from you. You just watched an NBA season in which Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double, made some athletic, amazing plays, and you're going to go off of that, and now we're in the big three time of the year. You're watching Chauncey Billups toss up long-distance shots against a bunch of washed-up basketball players.
I just watched someone dunk a second ago. I don't know.
Typically,
I'm not watching the game that closely.
if you don't know who's dunking. People dunk in the D League, you don't see it on TV because you don't know who they are.
That's not true. That's not true. D-League highlights get played.
That's also false, Ray. If I was watching the game intensely, I would know who dunked. If I was listening to commentary of the game, I would know who dunked.
Not of
Mike
the
Bibby
entertainment
just pulled
value
up for
to
a
get
jumper and missed.
intense fans. All these sports are intense fans. The big three won't succeed is because it won't have enough intense fans. It won't have people watching it for the actual success or watching it for the actual entertainment value.
I can agree with the fact that there's no one that's like, oh, I'm the biggest Ghost Ballers fan out there. We're gonna win the title. but like, there's no, but there's an aspect to it that's just it's old players that you enjoyed watching from the past. They have to draw bigger names in, and if they don't do that, then it's not going to work. But the idea to say that it's not working because the highlight play is Chauncey Billups hitting a 4-point shot, that is a highlight play in any league. Any player hitting a 4-point shot. There is no 4-point shot.
Here we go. You got the highlights going. You turn it on. The entire hit. 2 Steph Curry deep threes from the entire game. That's all the highlight.
No, there's other highlights in the game. There's 50 points in the game. Okay, so it's first to 50. The other points have to go in somehow.
The other point.
Lazy defense. Mid-range jumper.
I mean, there's other big names in the league that it's unfair to just say that it's only like Chauncey Billups because Kwame Brown has. Go ahead.
If they can bring on bigger names next summer, but to me, this model that they've built right now Granted, most of it was built on the basis that they would have Allen Iverson and white chocolate. So right there. But
Chocolate.
the model they have right now is not going to succeed because you don't have enough people that are going to say, I want to spend my Monday night watching the big three.
No. What?
They're down.
That's because it's not live. I just said that. If these were live, no. The other thing is, you're completely, the point you made about, the reason there's no loyal fans is because they've lost, they had the chance, but when you don't tell people that Iverson's not playing till 5 minutes before, then it's going to hurt them the next time they come around. No one's going to want to go to Philadelphia unless there's a bigger name because they don't trust that the system's going to be.
Hold up.
That's a good point.
You said you were going back with the whole. Did you bring that up?
What part of it? I said that since it's not live, the ratings are
not live. Yeah, not live part. Sunday these are played on Sundays, correct?
Sunday nights.
Okay, so Sunday night. So they would have to change the day for Sundays, right? Because if it goes Sunday afternoon into Sunday night. That's their baseball coverage.
I don't.
Sunday afternoon.
No.
Wait, what? Fox doesn't have Sunday night baseball coverage.
Saturday afternoon baseball coverage is Fox.
They not do Sunday afternoon baseball?
Sunday night you're not competing with anything.
Sunday, ESPN owns all rights to Sunday.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying in the fact that who has what and when, but the fact that to say that the reason it's not working is because of there's no intense fans. Is the whole point of the league was to not have intense fans. You have intense fans of one player on each team, and that's why you go and watch.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
You want the entertainment value of seeing that person.
Yes.
Right
now, in this league, who are you consistently tuning in to see?
There's Chauncey Billups fans out there. I don't know what they're doing with their lives, but they exist.
And that's great. You see Chauncey Billups have a good game. You might sit down and watch one Monday night. You'll probably go look at the highlights for him. Apparently hitting 2 4-pointers is like this league.
Hold on. But if Steph Curry hits 2 really deep threes, it's the same thing.
That game is going to have more than just those 2 deep threes. What you don't understand is this is a show of solely hoping he hits that deep shot because these guys aren't athletic. They're not making the type of plays that make people go, wow. It is solely based on seeing the old players you used to like, and then you're like, oh, wow, he's still playing basketball. He can still make a layup, and then you tune out.
Ray. Hold on for a second. Your point just was, can you watch a full night of this? When you say, can you watch a full night of this, are you referring to a full night of every single game? Or are you referring to watching at home, watching one game because you're looking for one player?
Can you sit down and consume
at the stadium or at your house?
As it is.
Ray, is it at your house or are you at the stadium? Then yes, if I was not doing anything at the time, just like any other event.
Wait, are you going to plan your schedule around the big three?
No, but I'm not going to plan my schedule around
the way that sports succeed, planning their schedules around them.
False. That's completely false. Because if I'm not going to the game itself, then I'm not scheduling myself around it for a regular season game. If it's a playoff game in any sport, yes, I'm scheduling my schedule around it, but not in a regular season game where I can.
And what the big three is, it's like a regular season because of the draw factor.
Repeat that.
The big three is like a regular season game in that regard because you want to watch bits and pieces of it. You don't have to be glued to your TV, but you want to watch parts of it. You want to see it.
Let me give you 4 names, Ray.
Okay.
So next whatever it is, summer.
Yeah,
Vince
that
Carter
season.
probably won't because he's playing another NBA season. He probably won't go straight from that to the big three, right? So Vince Carter, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Jason Terry. These are all guys that they can target. And then Ice Cube said the biggest plan was to try to get Kobe. I don't see Kobe playing in the big three, but that's your draw. Now, basketball is a team sport, so it doesn't work where you can have these people getting passionate about a team in this. That's not going to work. I'm not rooting for AI's. I'm rooting for AI's team to win, but I'm not passionate. I'd rather see AI go for 40 than see his team win on a. Like I'm not looking for team success in this. I'm looking for player success.
If you consistent players consistently entertain your audience, you have a chance of succeeding.
No, but that's the issue, Ray. That's not
this league right now.
No.
Something people are building their Monday nights around. Monday night around to watch going down. Therefore, Fox Sports could sit back after the ratings tank this year and say, maybe we don't want to bring this back.
Ratings are down compared to what they've done. Ratings are up from their regular Monday night programming.
If you get the people you're talking about, it's got a chance. It's definitely got a chance. If you can leave some of the names you're talking about, there's a chance.
But
right now, the way it's set up, primed for success.
Your first point was, can you get players to consistently entertain an audience? Right?
That's what I asked you.
And you do have players that consistently entertain the audience, but they're not big enough names. That's the issue.
Correct.
Now, the other issue is the fact that you suspected some of these older guys to still have productivity. You expected Iverson to be able to produce at a level and not have the health issues where he could still entertain an audience. And obviously that didn't occur. And then now you expected that you could still say that he was there. He still runs out of the tunnel with his team. And you expected that that would transpire. But the fact that they had the PR nightmare where they couldn't, I'm agreeing with you in that it's becoming a failed product, right?
Okay, so what were the last 20 minutes about?
No. That's not, but this is where we disagree. I'm about to say it. Is the fact that it had the chance to be a successful product, but they were way too. The way they handled
they were dependent on one person.
The way they handled the Iverson issue, I can't fault them for what happened last night, where Iverson just didn't show up because they didn't know that was going to happen. The fact that they didn't know that Iverson,
they set themselves up for this with the Philly thing.
Yes, they set themselves up for failure by having, what was it, 5 minutes before. 30 minutes before the game was to tip off, they said Iverson wasn't going to play. When I come back, now let me finish this. When I come back to Philly in whatever it is, a year from now, and the same people that pack that arena, they see Allen Iverson, player coach, let's say he's still there, right? Or maybe they get someone else that's a big name. And they're a player coach. I am not trusting for one bit that they're going to handle a situation correctly and that someone might not be able to play. And the reputation they've gotten, it doesn't matter even if there isn't anyone injured. It's just that I don't want to go because of what they did to me and make me spend all that money to go, only to be told that that player wasn't going to end up playing.
Okay, I think I said like 15 minutes ago that they messed up with that.
Yes, they had one. Now, here's where it'll get interesting. If Chauncey Billups gets that Cavaliers GM job, the league is probably down in the, like,
Here's what we're going with here.
The league's a good idea. That's where we're disagreeing.
I think this league could be a good idea. I think at the stage it's at right now, it's not a viable league. You can sustain.
I think it is a viable league in that
the reason you can sustain it is because a good bajillionaire.
But there's other busts like Kwame Brown. There's other guys that are gonna once they see because Kwame, as much as you probably don't want to talk about it, he's been playing well in the big three. And those guys see it and they think, oh, I can go do that because I didn't make it in the NBA. Let me go repair my image there. It works. It's Go ahead. What's your point? You're just holding your hands up to your mouth.
Yeah.
So talk.
Because I get this. I get your point. There's going to be players interested. And sure, there will be. Now, for sports fanatics, it's great to see Kwame Brown out there. You know, he didn't turn out the way they thought he would. We enjoy that. We like to see that Kwame Brown still can play basketball at a decent level. Sure, sports fanatics who remember them will love it. It is. If you build this brand, like you just said, I don't think that this is how you want to go about it. Coming in, say you bring in Greg Oden.
Well, that guy can barely stand up, but okay.
What?
Greg Oden has trouble standing up now, but keep going.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't have knees, but you started to cut me off.
Oh, someone can talk about cutting people off during this. Keep going.
Oh, you just cut me off.
You've been cutting. I've got like half a point and I get cut off. Keep talking so I can finish this.
If you're bringing in busts, it's not going to be the product you want. Guys who are highest level for big three. We're not talking like they can still be in the NBA, but you want them to be producing, want them to be giving people a reason to tune in on Monday night. Sure, on Sunday, it'd be fun to go in your hometown and watch some guy you used to like. And what you're saying right now is totally valid. The big three. Because a lot of people, I don't think, trust the big three at this point. So there are fatal flaws, but I think another one of their fatal flaws is the fact that this right now is not built sustained. If they can get the big names, like you said, they are going to be able to survive another summer. But if I'm a Fox Sports executive, after this summer, watching the ratings go down the way they have, I'm questioning whether or not we even want it.
Here's what I'm going to say, though.
It's say the rating, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
I'll finish with this, but if you want to keep going, I don't care. You say the ratings are down, correct? That is a fact from when they first started. But the ratings are way up from the regular Monday night programming. So the ratings are down.
Blocking out their night to watch Fox Sports 1.
What? Say that again. Your audio went out.
So I don't know what they usually run on Monday night. Would it be Skip and Shannon for the third time?
No, it'd probably be like MLB Whip Around, something like that.
Okay. If we want a daily MLB show, we'll probably go to the MLB Network.
Okay, but that's not the point, right? To any league doesn't like. There's going to be kinks to work through.
Yeah, there's growing pains.
Yes.
I understand.
So for them to give up on the big three, if the big three, make the big three live on Monday nights then. If you don't like the Sunday night where people have other things to do, make it a Monday night live league. You're probably not going to get the same amount of people to attend the event because it's on but keep it on a Sunday night then. Like I said earlier, who are they competing with? We're in the dog days of summer, they're competing with Sunday night baseball. Would you rather watch NBA veterans who are really good in the prime of their careers go up against other, maybe even a 27-year-old like what's his name? DeMar Johnson? He's old now. He's like 36, but he was not the greatest NBA player, but he's been killing it in here. So then, what's the point of trying to? I mean, are you understanding where I'm coming from? In that I'm starting to even lose my point here. We've been talking so much, but the fact that you that is going to probably beat Sunday Night Baseball in a live event when beat writers are already there writing game stories. There was a 4-pointer. I literally just watched it. So to say that
For a half hour and you have a dunk and a 4-pointer for me.
no, Mike Bibby had an and one, like kind of like a reverse layup type thing, and now two players are screaming at each other in each other's faces.
Okay. Can I, for the record, you're talking about DeMar Johnson. That's great. That league's not going to survive off DeMar Johnson. That's a bonus.
Thank you.
I agree with
No,
him.
I didn't say the league would survive off DeMar Johnson. I said a NBA legend
I get
going
that, I
up
get
against a DeMar Johnson, a Mike Bibby versus DeMar Johnson.
Okay, that's fair. I misunderstood that. That's fair. But just they need guy he can't be the headliner, and I think we're all on the same page.
Name. You need names. Give you a little non-sports thing here. Made in America. Philadelphia event. The headliners are what get people there. Then you realize you like other people. You wanted to see
Exactly. So DeMar Johnson.
Then you became a fan of DeMar Johnson.
So let's say, I don't care who it is. Mike, let's just go back with Mike Bibby. Let's say he drives to the lane and DeMar Johnson blocks him and drops like a crazy amount of points on him. People start to gravitate to watching it more because the quality of play is better with the one player that's playing in the game, which would be
That's fair.
DeMar Johnson. So people start to like DeMar Johnson, but the issue is that's not. I don't think a 37-year-old not big name is ever going to surpass the NBA legends, and because the league isn't built around that. The league isn't built around who's going to lead their team to a championship. The league is built around who is going to get people in the stadium to watch. Who is the guy that didn't go on out on his own terms that wants to keep playing? Who is the guy that was really good and then just wasn't and now is back in the big three?
And that's great. Watch one night and see him play. Show up to the stadium. Think it's a sustainable thing for you to come back and watch every week.
Okay, but then if it's not something you watch every single week, does it? If they're traveling playing basketball, the ratings are always going to be there. They're always going to be there. So if you're saying that you can continuously sell out a stadium, or not close to a sellout of a stadium, then the product will continue, and they will continue playing the big three.
Close to a sellout.
But it was close to a sellout until the Iverson news came, and they all left, which is the exact reason I just said they mishandled situations because they trusted Allen Iverson, and he let them down. They talked about this before the season where Ice Cube said he doesn't know what to expect from Iverson, and Iverson failed the product when he said he was going to do everything he could to help grow the big three, and he decided to go to a casino instead.
I think we've gotten what we can get out of this. Is that fair?
Yeah.
I think it's more than fair, considering this is only supposed to be an hour-long show and we're working on an hour and 20 minutes.
Well, I mean, you can't deny the big three.
Thoughts? We're the only people talking about the big three besides like the 10-second.
But that it's a meaningful debate just because that league garnered a lot of headlines beforehand, and in some aspects it's worked out. They're getting people, they're getting butts and seats. But in some aspects, Iverson, I know I haven't watched it much. Maybe in some aspects it's not working. Who knows?
All right.
The
Final thought from you, because that 30-minute segment was Matt's final thought.
The big three is also the Vic Flag Football League.
Yeah, I said Jason.
Right. There's other things going on, like the Flag Football League of Veterans is the same concept as the Big Three.
And that didn't get any pub either.
People were watching that.
Jason, no, it just wasn't on TV. It was a scrimmage at a stadium in a small setting where they tried to see what the product of play would be.
Okay. But final thoughts, trade deadline. Trade deadline was fun. People were kind of disappointed. And even before the Darvish trade, I think what people don't realize is the best thing about baseball trade season is that this happened over the course of like 2 weeks. So we've been getting legitimate rumors and actual trades since the Quintana thing happened. So really from start to finish, it was fun. And the NL is going to be fun. I think hopefully we'll talk about the AL a little bit, a little bit next week, because Yankees are making moves. Red Sox, Rafael Devers 4-hit game, by the way. Red Sox are legit. And we know about the Astros, and we know about the Indians and Royals. So it'll be fun.
My final thought is that Cole Hamels will end up a Philly because the Rangers are going to blow it up. All right. Thank you all. Think that? Oh, yeah. It's happening.
I'm excited.
Welcome back, 35. All right. Thank you all for listening. You're going to want to follow at Berg Tabell on Twitter, at InternBTB, at Jason Cantor BTB, at Ray Dunn BTB. We will be back next week. It'll be August. We're actually like less than 2 hours away from August. That's kind of scary. But maybe Nick will be with us. I don't really know what his deal is. I guess he just doesn't like Jason anymore.
We're actually texting right now. He's his boy Paul Blackburn, one of his favorite pitchers on the A's, is pitching tonight in spot of Sonny Gray's rotation. So may or may not gamble on it.
Fantastic.
Anything you want to say to him? I'll text it to him.
Thank you all for watching. It's been a fun time. The big three.
Look happy, intern.
Thank you to the intern for joining us. Happy to get.